I am very excited to be here with you today, and Bill Ryan and I'm Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot. Couldn't be more thrilled to have this honor of interviewing you. You're one of the preeminent researchers. You've been on the scene for over 40 years. I think you're really responsible for David Icke and Zecharia Sitchin and, I don't know, numerous others coming to the fore, talking about secret societies, the Illuminati, and really the powers that be behind the scenes. And there's just no doubt that everyone, Hoagland, I mean, you name it, even Wilcock, everyone owes you a great thank you for bringing this subject matter to the fore and for your amazingly diligent research in this area. You're an amazing mind. You're really you're a national treasure, if you don't mind my saying so, here in America, and I know you've been noticed overseas in that respect as well. So, what do you have to say for yourself? Can you give a better introduction than that?
I would say that you are being very generous and very kind, and I appreciate all your words. But I view myself as just an ordinary person, just doing what I love to do, and that is to look behind the scenes of world events, how things really work. And I started doing this kind of research diligently. I grew up, even as a child, spending most of my time in the library where all the other kids were out playing. I was sitting in libraries, and so I've always been interested to know things that other people don't seem to even know exist. And I've always been interested in the secret side of life, all of the hidden things in the world that most people are not even aware of. I'm just fascinated with how much there is to know that most people don't even know exist. And so I grew up thinking that way, and by the time I was 19 years old, when I ended up in Los Angeles, I decided to dedicate my whole life to studying what I would call the world of the occult. The word occult simply means hidden. And so much of real knowledge and wisdom is hidden, because the people who run this planet feel that true knowledge and wisdom of how the world really works is it's knowledge that you don't need to know. And all you need to do is just go out and do your job and have fun and watch your basketball and stay out of the way of the adults that run the world. I never bought that. When I was a child, I used to, of course, be happy when my family would have other families coming over to visit, because they would bring their children, and I would have people, I'd have kids to play with. But after dinner, the women would always end up in a group, and they're talking women talk, and my dad and his brothers and whoever else was there, all the men would go in the front room and smoke the cigars and have the wine and talk men talk. And so my dad and my uncle especially would always say, well, you kids go on out and play ball. And I would tell my uncle, because I loved my dad's brothers were wonderful. I loved them all. And so I would tell my uncle, I don't want to go out and play ball. I want to hear what you guys are talking about. Because I'm assuming if you want me to go out and play ball, that you're going to talk about something you don't want me to hear. I'm real curious to hear what you want to talk about that you don't want me to hear about. And so even as a kid,
say that to them.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. So you're incredibly precocious, basically.
Yeah, and so what they would do is my uncle and my dad would say, well, we'll go out and play. We'll go out and play too. You know, acting like, okay, we don't need to talk about anything. So we would go out, and of course all the kids would now want to go out because my dad and my uncle is going to be playing with us. So we would all go out to play ball because now the adults were with us. And of course, about 10 minutes into the game, my dad would get tired, you know, because he works all day, so he's tired and that kind of story. So he comes in, and then my uncle, a few minutes later, would come in. But now the kids are, now we're playing ball, so now we're happy. I see that today. The President of the United States goes to the opening ball game, and he throws out the first ball. That's Daddy throwing out the first ball for all the kids to be there. And all the kids are watching their little silly ball games. And then, of course, they would shoot into the audience of the ball games, and you see the movie stars and big-name politicians there watching the game. And I thought, you know, I know what that is. It's just the guys who are running the planet want all the poor people